Welcome to the program. So nice to have you with us today. Not too many episodes back, I remember saying, one day I'm going to tell you folks about catching a whale. Well, I was walking along several days later, and I thought, did I say whale? Hey folks, let me tell you off at the top, I never caught a whale. I caught a shark. I don't know why I said whale. But I'll tell you about catching the shark. It wasn't a small shark, it was a big shark. Oh, no, it wasn't a whale, but it was a big shark. Anyway, I was on board the USS Marler DD-565, and I spent almost 4 years on the Smalley. Now I'm going to tell you, all these folks that's wanting to go for cruises, that's all right, but I've had enough of that to last me a lifetime. I don't need any cruises, I promise you. I went to 42 foreign countries and more islands than that, and I spent my time. But anyway, getting back to the shark, Simon Magwood from Charleston, South Carolina, he lived at 2 Doughty Street in Charleston. And he and I were close friends. We had become close friends on the ship. And, you get bored. After a while, you get so bored just being out there on the ship. And all you see is water. And a lot of times for a month or two, we didn't see anything but water and no land. One boy said one day, he said, if I had a bucket of dirt, I'd just turn it over my head. But anyway, we got bored, and I don't remember which one did what. I know we were in it together, that's all I can remember. And we went down into the ship fitter's shop and got them to make us a big hook, great big hook. And then we went up to the galley, and we talked them into giving us a big piece of meat. And we went down to the ship fitter's shop, I believe it was, and we got a lot of rope, a lot of line. I don't remember how long it was, but it reached as far out almost as you could see there, it looked like. Clear, And we put that hook on that rope and that meat, and we threw it out there and tied it to, I believe you call it a ballast. And we put it out there and tied it, and watched it for a while, and nothing happened. And finally, I looked out, and that line was becoming taut. Something had hooked onto that line, and it was jerking, and you could hear it make noise whenever that rope would come out of the water a ways. And so we I want to tell you something. Don't ever decide to catch a shark like that, especially whenever you're not supposed to. So here we were, we had the shark, and he was cutting up, pulling like a whale. And so we was pulling, several of the sailors was pulling on it. So we finally, the bosun mates took it and hooked it onto a windlass, and they made the windlass by one getting on one side and one getting on the other, and they hauled that rope in, and we got the shark up and pulled him on up, and whenever he got him on board, you don't really want to have a shark on board unless he's dead. Well, the officer of the deck took his .45 and shot him, and he went kind of limp, and we pulled him on up and laid him out on the ship, and a sailor by the name of Marler, I remember, straddled him and said, "Yippee!" and kind of riding him like a horse. And all of a sudden that shark flounced. That I've never seen anybody get away from a thing any quicker than Marler got away from that shark. And the officer had to shoot him again. We took axe and got his tooth, some of his teeth. I had his tooth for years, for 25 years, and I lost it, I guess. I had a tooth. And maybe somewhere I might still have a picture, because by that time it was night, and I can just see Simon Magwood standing there in his underclothes. Somebody woke him up and said, "You and Marler's caught a shark." And so then we put him back over, and I didn't know if we were going to be in trouble for it or not. The officer of the deck was afraid that he was going to ride us up and we'd be in trouble. But whenever they threw him back over, the officer looked at me and said, "Marler, would you go to bed? Would you just go to bed?" And I saluted him and said, "Yes, sir." And I was glad to get to bed. Don't ever catch a shark unless you have to. God bless you.